G'day folks, welcome to round 8 it is. Good Lord, it creeps up on you, doesn't it? 7 rounds gone already, so that's over a third of the season. We're in round 8. Welcome to Between the Posts. My name is Sean Jackson. I am joined tonight by our usual co-host, Tony. Well, normally runs the show, but he's allowed me to run it tonight. Tony Neill, how are you, cowboy?
I am sensational, mate. We've missed you. Lambo did a great job, but I know you've been away for the folks out there, mate. Fiji, just absolutely magnificent. Did you get a lay in the airport?
Not in the airport, no.
I did. Last time I was there, there was 10 of them lined up. Yeah, fantastic. They put it over your head.
Oh, that's what
nice flowers and all that sort of stuff, and you end up with them. Yeah, beautiful it is over there.
I did get one of those lays, yeah.
We're supposed to rub noses or something, is that? Yeah.
Anyway,
get on with it, mate.
What's on the night show, folks? I'll tell you what's on the night show. We've got a chat with the Goodwood Saints president, Craig Scott. Massive week at the Goodwood Saints Footy Club. That's our broadcast live stream game this week, Goodwood Saints versus Teacher Gully. So look forward to that chat. We're also catching up with Alex Guy, new coach this year for Athelstone.
Hear all about what's going on down there.
Yeah, we'll do our normal around the grounds. We'll talk about the mark of the week, goal of the week, and so much more. So listen, whatever you do, grab yourself a cup of tea, grab a beer. Don't be long. Strap yourselves in. We've got a show for you. Okay, I hope you had a chance to grab yourself a quick beer or a cup of tea. Strap yourselves in, as I said, we've got a show for you. Div 1 roundup to get things underway. Let's talk about the games from the weekend. The live stream game was, of course, Ross Trevor versus Paynham. In the end, 38-point margin to Ross Trevor. I've got to tell you, that probably flatters Paynham Norwood Union a little bit. They were in danger of going down by 10 plus at three-quarter time, and there's some worrying signs there for me, Tony.
Yes, certainly. Just on that too, young player coming through at Rocks. We saw Stefan Lanzoni go through to Norwood and so on, and they keep bringing new ones through, and there's been a young lad on their list for a couple of years, and I know the family very well, so young Hayden Swanbury, I noticed has been in the best players the last couple of weeks, and he's done his time through the Bs into the As. Absolutely outstanding family he comes from, and good to see him going along quite well. But tell us about the game. Were they behind all day? Were Rocks the better team?
We're just on Hayden. I know Benny Watkins is really happy with him. He plays as a key defender. Look, Paynham's first quarter into the breeze was actually quite good. It was entertaining to watch. They took the game on and played with a bit of speed. Their skill level was good, and I'm not sure if they were up at quarter time. There was certainly nothing in it. So we had pretty good hopes for the game, but the second and third quarter, Ross Trevor tore him another one, to be brutally honest with you. Murphy kicks 4, Fantasia kicks 4. The other big difference, but it was around the ball, the structure, the setup of the Ross Trevor side was far superior to what Paynham put out in the park. And we watched Paynham game 1. They won that one against PAC, and we were pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
We are now round 7. They haven't won a game since.
Jeez, have a look at them.
But you've only got to look at their scores for the previous 4 rounds. They scored 8 on the weekend, but the previous 4 they'd scored 4, 4, 6 and 4. So they're just not getting the scores done. And a couple of players was tired during the week. Cameron Milne is as good a ruckman as he is in the competition. Yeah. So they've got some worries out at Paynham, and they've got some work to do to try and keep abreast of the rest of the competition. Let's move on. St Peter's now go to the top of the ladder, Tony.
Yep.
18-11. They took care of Old Iggy's 7-9, that's a 68-point margin. Were you surprised at that?
Yeah, 68 points, and they kicked 12 goals to 4 after half-time, and Jock McClay is in, if you like, career best form in the Adelaide Footy League with another 4 goals. And I said the other week, he's always looked fit, but he looks fitter this year, moving clunks the marks. He's an imposing figure, and it's great to be physical, but you actually got to play football as well. But if you can get the ball down to a spearhead and it doesn't come back out, it goes through. That's great reward for the whole team. So they're travelling nicely, and you hit the nail on the head. They were second and Port District were on top. Both teams won, but because they had such a big win, they've gone back to top. This is the beauty of every division this year. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, very hard to get a read on Division 1. What we will do, folks, I know I was put under the pump prior to the season start and asked to put a top 10 together in order, and I don't think it would be anywhere near close. I was put on the spot, but We've had 7 rounds now. We'll have 2 more rounds, and then we'll have a real good look at across the bye week about where we think each club will go. Division 1 is by far the hardest league.
It's a ripper, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's move on to the next game. Port Districts, as you mentioned, now second on the ladder, 10-7, took care of Brighton by 23 points. Not a massive margin, lowish scoring game. Tell you what really took my eye out of that game, mate. Jason Niskahoos, terrific lad, has had some real injury problems the last couple of years, played state footy. We've got a lot of time. I know he was best on ground last week when I wasn't here.
Yep, we had a bit of fun getting the name out. I'm glad you got it out.
Yeah, no, I know.
Good on him.
He's Bugsy Niskahoos's son,
Yep.
the old soccer player. Kicked 3 goals and was best player again, so well done, Niska. Keep it going.
Just on that, 24 points at half time. It was 47 at 3/4 time.
Wow.
4-5 to 4-4 is 23 points in the end, wasn't it? After half time, is that correct? But so that score 4-5 to 4-4. Brighton kicked 4-5. Third quarter, Brighton kicked 4 points. Port District kicked 4 goals, 3. Last quarter, Brighton, who'd just kicked 4 points, kicked 4 goals, 1 point. Port District, who'd kicked 4 goals, 3, kicked 1 point.
There was a bit of a breeze on the weekend.
Geez, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was, as I said, there was a bit of a breeze favouring one end for most grounds, I would have thought. We'll move on. Goodwood Saints, that's who we're looking at this week. Now, they are the side that I picked early in the season to be on top of the ladder. I know they're not top of the ladder. Where are they? They are...
Here it is here, mate. Third.
So they're thereabouts. They took care of Glenunga, not by a big margin either, 11 points.
Funny one, this one. It was Goodwood were equal at half time. They kicked 7 goals to 5 in the second half to win by 11 points. So that was the difference, a couple of goals. So,
at home? Was it?
What have we got here? Glenunga? No, was that Glenunga?
Okay.
Yeah. So a very close game, and good on Goodwood rolling along. But they've done that a few times recently.
Yep.
Righto, well, let's have a look at some statistics from the Glenunga versus Goodwood game. This is the beauty of Dartfish. We can dissect games and we'll go through some things here. But you can see there the disposals, 176 Glenunga, 229 to Goodwood, so plus 53 in disposals. That's almost an extra quarter, if you like. Effective, 79 to 132. So not only did they have more of the ball, but they were more effective. Interestingly, ineffective was 97 each. Inside 50s, only 6 different, 27 to 33. Marks contested, 13 to 17, so strong dukes in the air. But the uncontested, 29 to 46, so plus 17. So you can look into this, you can look at the vision and you can say, yes, Goodwood had more of the ball. They also had a lot more of the uncontested marks. So did they move it around, switch of play, down the ground and so on. So some great statistics there. We thank you, Dartfish, for these statistics that really help the coaches and the people out there interested in analysing the game.
Now, Teacher Gully, who took all before him in the first 4 rounds, when Alex McKay was strutting around town like he owned the joint. Chess was out. Look at me, I've been on every reality show there is in Australia. Come back to earth with a thud, Macca. Haven't seen you since, but I'm looking forward to catching up with you now that you know what coaching's about. It's not all winning. But you did get back on the winners on the weekend. 14-10, took care of Prince Alfred by 10 points only.
Yes.
Would have been a good game.
Exactly. 10 points. Ryan Spittle kicked 5 goals up forward. They were 1 point behind at 3/4 time. They kicked 5-1, so 6 scoring shots, 5-1 to 3-2. 5 scoring shots. More accurate. The accuracy, I'm going to get them onto this when we do the bigger division wrap. The accuracy out there was fantastic. So, as you said, mate, St Peter's on top, Port District second. Teacher Gully are in the 4.
Yeah.
They're 4th. You only got to finish somewhere in that 5 and then you set it up for the finals again.
Particularly this year. We'll finish Division 1 wrap with a negative, and that was something I brought up last time I was on 2 weeks ago, and that's the sling tackles.
Yeah, correct.
Sitting here in HQ at the moment, and 3 more Division 1 players have been busted this week, and we're talking 3+1, 3+1 and 4+1 game suspension. You know, my old belief, Tony, there's no point being the toughest player in the grandstand. You're hurting your team. Got to get it right.
The other side of that, I'll give a positive, but I reckon it was Teacher Gully on social media, put a couple of posts up. You can sit back and say, oh, woe is me, and why are we getting done, blah, blah, blah. They went out and got a tackling coach to come down to training. Do something positive. You can fix this very easily. We know what the rules are. Get a tackling coach, come down to the club, help you out, and get the way you go about it correct.
You've got to get it sorted. coaches, clubs, you've got to get it sorted. There's been too many players over the last 3 or 4 weeks in Division 1 that are sitting that can't play that should be playing. So
Exactly.
have a good look at it. That is Division 1.
And welcome back, folks, and it's our pleasure to be joined by the President of Goodwood Saints, Craig Scott. Welcome, Craig.
Welcome. Thank you, Tony.
Now, we've got a very special day this week, BMHRF Day, which is actually Breakthrough Mental Health Foundation Research Day, and it's a very important event. And I say that, is it a celebration, an event, or more around creating and promoting awareness?
Look, it's definitely an awareness event, but I suppose we are celebrating the fact that football is so important for mental health. We talk a lot, as Tea Tree Gully do, about being physically fit and also mentally fit. So being involved in any sport, I think, is great for mental health.
All right, sure.
It's obviously going to be a big day, Scotty. You've got 5 games. Give us the card, mate. How does it look and what time you got to get there in the morning?
Exactly right. You want to get a park, I tell you. Okay, so we've got the C grade 10-15, B grade 12-15, A grade at 2-15. We've got the inclusive side playing Tea Tree Gully in their first year in the inclusive competition. They're at 4:45. And then at 6:30, we've got the women's A grade side playing Mitcham. So
every other game's against Tea Tree Gully other than the women's, which is against Mitchell. Wow, what a fantastic day. You've got some organisation in front of you.
Well, I really need to probably email those residents and let them know.
Now, I know that there's a couple of players, or not so much players, but it's a couple of people you're recognising on the day with medals. One from your club and one from Tea Tree Gully. Give us a little bit of an intro on that, mate.
Okay, so I suppose the history of this is it started a while ago with Tea Tree Gully. They had a player, Bennett Sparrow, who unfortunately took his life. And we played against Tea Tree Gully for the Beyond Blue Day, and we wore blue socks. And unfortunately, our club, David Baker, who was an assistant coach in the mid-90s, he took his life, and we then had a medal struck for David Baker and also Bennett Sparrow. And then Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation came in with John Mannion, and we kind of really aligned to that. And Adelaide Footy League are aligned with them. Right. And it seemed a natural progression to move into the Breakthrough Community Round. And now we have a round specifically for Breakthrough Mental Health. And so now we raise awareness for the Breakthrough and also an opportunity to raise some funds when we play at our home ground and then when we play in the second half at Tea Tree Gully up at Pertaringa.
And Craig, I wrote down in the notes here, you think about it's more than a game, isn't it? It's more than just the 2 hours on the park, or it might be 10 hours with 5 games, but and the result is important to the coach and the players in Division 1, of course, but it spreads out because it's a club and it's a local community event, but it's along with the wider football and the football sports community as well. It affects so many. So it's not just, here's the game, let's park that, and how many other people it can affect in a positive manner by raising awareness and getting this fantastic day underway.
And it helps the families as well who have been touched. There would not be a football club in the Adelaide Footy League that have not been touched in some way with someone committing suicide, and it devastates your club.
And we used to hide from it a bit, didn't we? Now it's out for everyone to see. We're happy to talk about it now. And
I think the question we always ask is why, and we rack our brains to try and work out why. And to be honest, most times you'll never actually get the answer. You'll never know what a person's place to be and how dark that can be. That's the solution, because we're looking at it from a different side. So it's our opportunity to raise some money for Breakthrough, who hopefully can do some research to try and find out how we can limit this. and then also appreciate what we've got and appreciate the fact that we can play football. And Tony, you're 100% right. The footy players, they are out there for a win. I think from the footy club's perspective, for a community club, it's more about the opportunity to raise awareness. And yeah, we want to beat Tree Gully, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But that, to me, that is not the be-all and end-all.
No, the day's a winner. The other one also is we've got this game as the live broadcast, so people can watch and hear it commentated, because I'm sure there'll be some interviews on the day. There's that. They can turn up to the game. Is there any other ways that people can get involved? And an extension of that is for the people out there to understand we do have mental health round, we have this game. It's not just one game. The mental health stuff, it is ongoing. So if they can't get to the game, can they come out to the club in a couple of weeks and still support in different ways? We know we've got beanies and socks, and how else can people be involved?
Definitely. We'll have a fundraising page set up for the game, and people can donate through that. People can also speak just to support services to get some help, because sometimes these sort of things bring up some memories for people. So there's different opportunities that'll be available on Saturday.
All right, Craig. Well, that's it, Sean, from your end.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to live stream. That game should be an absolute crack. Footy, for 1 second, Goodwood Saints, Tree Gully, both well and truly in the 5.
Yes.
The game itself will be an absolute beauty, but the occasion will also bring a lot more out. And so look forward to seeing you on Saturday, Scotty.
And we will have the standard barbecue ready for you boys, all right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much for coming in, raising awareness, and as we said, it goes across the whole league and the Division 1 teams, Goodwood and Tree Gully as well, and we think it's fantastic, and let's keep it going and getting that awareness out there. Thanks so much for joining us, Craig.
Thanks, Tony.
The Simon Black Academy is a 3-pillared program that combines both education and Australian rules football. Available in 4 states throughout Australia, the program covers 3 key areas. The first is an education component through the Torrens University. The second is the development of the participants' AFL skills, helping the player to become the best player they can possibly be. And the third is a leadership and growth program. The Academy is a perfect opportunity for participants who like football. They get exposed to AFL coaches and mentoring opportunities as they do their university degree. The first 12 months allows participants to complete a diploma in Sports Management Elite, and if the students elect to stay on for a further 2 years, they can complete a Bachelor's in Business Management with a sports focus. Based down at Norwood Oval and the Arc at Campbelltown, it is a fantastic program for anyone interested in sports management who loves football and wants to extend their education with a Torrens University degree. Feel free to check out the website simonblack.com.au.
Welcome back. Well, it's time for the Division Wrap, and we will start with Division 7. We're going to get through this quickly, but I'll tell you what, the accuracy on the weekend. Listen to this, Greenacres won a 173-point win over Mitchell Park. They kicked 30 goals, 14. Very accurate. Gibson with 7, Takano with 5. They had a 13-goal last quarter and kicked 20 after half-time. That is Division 7.
Yeah, interesting. Greenacres, I call Greenacres Broadview C grade because there's a lot of ex-Broadview players, and Scotty Burnett, I reckon, might have played for them on the weekend. He was a terrific player for Broadview. So they're one of the few sides left in our Adelaide Footy League that are yet to lose a game, Greenacres. Division 6, what's happening in Division 6, Tone?
West Croydon defeated Fitzroy, mate.
Yes, Woodcock. I think we mentioned him about Kevin kicking 700 goals. He got another 6 on the weekend.
Yep.
So well done to him. I see Shane Catterall also kicked 6 in Rosewater's big win. No real surprises in Division 6. All games went as I thought they would go, or as according to the Premiership table. So let's get into Division 5.
Yeah, I'll just go back a step. Division 7. The other one was Horton defeated Hackham. They kicked 15-7 as well. Pardon me. What have you brought back? And Martin kicked 7 in that one. Division 5, Wakefield Sports Clinic, 3rd versus 4th, the big game, Eastern Park versus Elizabeth, 90-point win to Eastern Park, 3rd versus 4th, 14 goals to 2 after half-time. Kilburn got their 3rd win, 32-point win over St Paul's, Linson kicked 6 and McCallum 5, 8-8 to 6-5 after half-time, so it could have been a bigger win. 8 goals 8, could have been, 10 goals 6 or something. Jeps Cross defeated Salisbury by 101 points, and Clark Rantasa kicked 5 goals.
Yeah, it doesn't look good down the bottom of that table, to be honest with you. St Paul only won the one game. Blackfriars and Salisbury are one of probably only 4 clubs, or 2 or 4 clubs, that have yet to win a game. And I mentioned this a few weeks ago, you know, when you have a long pre-season, a long off-season, you just want to win a game. You're 7 rounds in and you still haven't won a game. You start to get bloody toey, I would have thought.
And sing the song.
Yeah, that's right, sing the song. So that's Division 5. Division 4, I tell you what caught my eye there. Portland, going about their merry business. That was the game in the round. They took care of Mitcham by only 2 points. Lindsay Thomas kicked another 6.
Yeah.
He's got to be right up there. I didn't get a chance to look at the goal kicking in this division, but I reckon it'll be very interesting because Pembroke's Forster kicked 6 as well.
I see that, yeah.
So I hope Alex is still on top of the goal kicking list, but I fear Lindsay Thomas might have him at this stage.
Jeez.
We'll get back to you that next week. But that was the other close game. Hope Valley 10-13 beat Walkerville 10-10, so 3-point margin there. And some topsy-turvy stuff at the top of that premiership table, Division 4.
They're pretty happy too, Hope Valley, just quietly.
No doubt.
Sip and Say Division 3. 3rd place Flinders Park defeated 2nd place Modbury. So 3rd versus 2nd, but it was a 44-point win. So that's a big win. This is what we're talking about, the league at the moment. Modbury, though, in that 44-point loss, if you like, they did kick 12 goals 3. So once again, the accuracy there. Hardy kicked 8 goals for Flinders Park. So great day out.
Great recruit fit. Yeah. Park,
yep. Seaton defeated Westminster, 14 goals 12, 96-2, 14 goals 5, 89. Accuracy again. Scotch changed their coach. We often see this. They win by 14 points over Smosh West Lakes. Edwardstown defeated CBCOC by 48 points, 15 goals 12. Jesse Watchman, great player, kicked 6, and Horgan kicked 5. So that's 11 goals out of the 15 for Edwardstown.
Yeah, I must mention Will James too, moved on as the Scotch coach. Terrific fellow. Will's been around the footy scene for a while. Sent him a text message and said, mate, be proud of the fact that you've coached for a long time, because not many people do that, so well done to Will. And been taken over now by...
Captain.
The captain, who's now relinquished his there was joint captains, so Harrison Jolly will now be the captain, and his name just escapes me.
It'll come to you, mate. Your head's still in Fiji.
Yeah.
Good luck. Well, good luck to Will James, of course.
Yeah, correct. And a good win by Scotch too, wasn't it?
Yeah, well done.
And it's tight.
You often see that.
Tight at the bottom end of that table, Tone. Scotch, Morphy Parks and CBC and Smosh West Lakes. There's probably 4 of them that are trying to avoid the spoon. And at the top end of the table, Golden Grove, undefeated. So they're travelling nicely. Division 2, let's have a look at Division 2. That's the Breakthrough Mental Health round, division, and we've obviously got a game this week, Goodwood Saints and Tea Tree Gully, that feature in that. Henley took care of Salisbury North. What took my eye there, Salisbury North 1 goal 8 for the game. It's got to be hard to sit through when you only kick 1 goal for the game, but Henley seem to have becoming good.
They have. You're correct.
Last few weeks have been good. North Haven took care of Foss. Bit better effort by Foss this week, but I'm a little bit concerned what's happened out at Foss. Sacred Heart, good win over Athelstone. Broadview keep getting the job done. Adelaide Uni, 3 goals for the game. And Unley Mercedes Jets have jumped out of the bottom 2. I think we wrote them off after round 4. Said, Scotty Thompson, welcome to the big league. Don't worry about the AFL. Welcome to the big league. Can you get a win? Well, can you get a win? I think they've had 3 now.
He's done well. Mate, that is our division wrap, but just very quickly, have you ever been threatened in your life?
Many times.
No, I've got some great friends out there, but I mentioned a few people in Division C1, you wouldn't believe it, for Rocks last week. Anyway, what happened? We had a discussion through the week, so I'll just mention Rocks defeated Payneham Norwood Union by 25 points after a 152-point loss last week, and in their best players, I said if he got in, I'd mention Riordan McNamara, 2nd best. So well done, young man. And I think I live another week after that. That is our division wrap.
Well, g'day footy fans, and welcome to the weekly women's wrap here on Between the Posts, to look at every single women's division across the Adelaide Footy League for round 7, and there was plenty that happened. Let's get into Powerade Division 6, where we had a draw between Adelaide University and Marion. 1 goal, 6 apiece. Loretto's stellar rise continues, a 9-goal victory over Athelstone, and Modbury took care of Rosewater by just 2 goals, but good to see the Bulldogs pretty competitive there. League leaders Edwardstown had the bye. The latter after round 7. Edwardstown unbeaten thus far with Loretto in hot pursuit. Then it drops away, 1 win between 3rd and 6th, Modbury, Athelstone in the 5, Adelaide Uni and Marion just out. Rosewater getting used to Div 6, but yeah, starting to kick a few goals and get a bit competitive. The Bulldogs will be at home hosting Adelaide University, 3:15 on Saturday. Loretto, this is the game, 2nd hosting 1st at Campbelltown Memorial Oval as they host the undefeated Towns. 3:15 also, Athelstone hosting Marion, whilst Modbury have the bye. To the Safety Hub Division 5, North Haven registered their 2nd win. You consider this an upset, keeping Kilburn goalless, winning by 14 points. Woodville South and Elizabeth, the Cats getting themselves entrenched into 2nd position with a close 3-point win. And I thought this could be a one-sided rout. It was anything but. Fitzroy and Accuracy helping them stay within range, but the Demons of Eastern Park, the league leaders, prevailing by 10 points. The ladder here in the Safety Hub Division 5, Eastern Park, then a fair bit of daylight to Woodville South, Kilburn, Elizabeth and North Haven on the edge of the 4, separated by percentage, and Fitzroy still winless, but certainly a competitive effort against the league leaders last week. The games this week, Fitzroy host Woodville South. Could this be the Roy's turn to get that win? We'll find out. Kilburn host Eastern Park, and North Haven and Elizabeth, the winner of that will be in the 4 late Saturday night. Billy's Bakery Division 4, not great to see here, but Lockley Speak Glenunga on a forfeit. Pulteney took care of Ingle Farm on the road by 47 points. Pembroke over Hectorville, 5 more scoring shots, 5-point win. And Jeps Cross continued on their merry way, 23-point winners. So Jeps Cross still one of the unbeaten teams across women's footy, 7-0. Pembroke behind them 6-1. Pulteney and Lockley's make up the 4, closely followed by Hectorville, West Croydon, Ingle Farm, all on 4 wins, dropping away to the Rams with 2 and 5. The games this week, a huge game. Jeps Cross Pembroke at Duncan Fraser Reserve. That's 1st versus 2nd. Lockley's and West Croydon looks evenly matched. Ingle Farm, let's hope Glenunga get a team on the paddock. And Hectorville and Pulteney, also 2 teams with decent win-loss records in the Village Bakery Division 4. 9 News Division 3, Goodwood Saints held Kenilworth to just the 1 goal. Thankfully, that 1 scoring shot was a goal. Hope Valley beating Scotch, keeping them winless, winning the 35 points. Hope Valley. Golden Grove held Brighton goalless, winning by 23. And Flinders Park held Mitcham goalless to win by 15 points. The Goodwood Saints and Golden Grove standout leaders, 2 games back to Flinders Park and Brighton. Hope Valley half a game out, Kenilworth a further game back, and Mitcham on 2 and 5. Scotch still looking for that elusive first win in their new Division 3. Games this weekend across the division, Brighton and Hope Valley down on Brighton Road, Golden Grove and Kenilworth at Harpers Field. Scotch, could they beat Flinders Park? That would be an upset at the Scotch College Oval, and Goodwood Saints will look to extend their run at the top of the table, the top 2 at least, hosting Mitcham. That's the 9 News Division 3. Let's go to the Cinderella's Commercial Clean Division 2, the reserves and the league leaders. Not only got beat, they were held goalless. Teacher Galley just the 2 behinds, Goodwood Saints winning by 12, Henley over Gazer by 18, and Golden Grove shut out Brighton, 72-point wins there, while Flinders Park had the bye. Teacher Galley still top with a massive percentage, Goodwood a win behind Henley and Flinders Park. Golden Grove just half a win out of the 4. And then it got 2 games back to Brighton and Gazer, bringing up the rear in the Div 2 reserves. Let's have a look at the games here. Brighton and Gazer, someone's got to get a 2nd win, you would think. Golden Grove and Tea Tree Gully, don't have to travel too far there to Harpers Field. Henley and Flinders Park, again, 2 close neighbours, both with 3 wins, looking for the 4th. And Goodwood Saints have that bye. The league level in Division 2, Cinderella's Commercial Cleaning. Blackfriars and Flinders Uni had the bye, so just the 2 games. Anglevale over Tea Tree Gully by 7, and Gazer on the road beating Henley by 16. That leaves our ladder. Flinders Uni and Blackfriars on top with 4 wins. Tea Tree Gully and Gazer in the 4 with 3. Anglevale also have 3 just out, and Henley 2.5. So just 1 win between 3rd and 6th in a 16 comp. Fair bit to sort out there. Their games in the league level: Flinders Uni and Tea Tree Gully, Angle Valley and Gazer, 3 wins apiece, Henley and Blackfriars. Okay, just the Buddybet Division 1 to go. We've got the reserves here. Morphettville Park at home over Broadview by 28 points. Payneham beat Smosh by 33. And Old Ignatians beat Happy Valley in a 2-goal game by just 2 points. Adelaide University had the bye. The ladder here, Smosh still on top, 2 games ahead of Payneham. And look at this, we've got 5 teams on 3 wins. The Falcons, Morphy Parks, Uni, Broadview and Old Ignatians. And then Happy Valley a couple of games back, bringing up the rear. Much better news for Happy Valley in the league. We'll get to that in a sec. But Morphy Parks, a thumping win in the Buddybet Division 1 League over Broadview by 64 points. Payneham Norwood Union down Smosh, and Happy Valley prevailed at Park 25 by 14 points. Again, the Blacks had the bye. The ladder in the Buddybet Division 1 League, Happy Valley lead the way, 5-1. Morphy Park's a game behind. Old Ignatians and Adelaide Uni with 3 wins in the 4. Payneham, Broadview, Smosh, all with 2 wins sitting out. So everyone still with a chance to play some finals footy in the Buddybet Division 1. The games this week, they're all double headers. Old Ignatians hosting Adelaide University at Park 25. All those teams with 3 wins and 3 losses, remarkable. Morphettville Park host Happy Valley. That's first versus second in the league. And at Payneham, Payneham Norwood Union and Broadview, the winner of that will probably be in the 4 come Saturday night. So a big game there, while Smosh West Lakes have the bye. Alrighty, don't forget, let us know what's happening at your club so we can promote it. Email Phil, footytimes@gmail.com. So my name's Phil Hurd, thanks for joining me, keeping track of all the women's. We'll go back to Between the Posts in a sec. The women's wrap will be back same time, same place next week. Until then, enjoy your footy.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Welcome back, folks. It's time to go around the league now and find out what's making news direct from our head office. The first thing we must mention is that we have had over 250,000 hits on our Mark of the Week and Goal of the Week from round 1 to round 6. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're enjoying those segments. Other news around the place is Ben from O'Connell Meats, who's been a great supporter of the league, or Chops as he's known, donating sausages each week to the 9 visits with Tom Wren. Is now raising money through a Go Fundraise page, which will be on the bottom of our screen, and it's raising money towards the Little Heroes Foundation. So if you want to get involved in that, please see the link below and donate accordingly. The other news from around the ground is that Saturday the 18th of June is MND round, and MND is a beast. It'll be the Socket 2 MND round, and it's an initiative by Fight MND to help local footy clubs and communities join the fight for more effective treatment and a cure for MND. Once again, read the link down the bottom of the page. Must mention last Thursday night, Tom Wren was out at the Plympton Footy Club where Jamie Morgan, one of the real nice guys of the Adelaide Footy League, entertained those guys. Both Johnny Kernahan and Ben Avery popped in and they had a chat about the dangerous tackles, and that's still a concern in our game, and we'll talk about them as we do the individual division reviews. Rowies Roost, unfortunately Peg and Jake had a chance to win the money. Jake got very, very close, probably the closest we've had anyone this year, but it was a hold your breath moment, but unfortunately neither of them were able to sink the money, and the money is still there. Okay, we must mention the award donors for last Saturday's live stream game, which was between the Rostrevor Collegians and Payneham Norwood Union. The best on ground went to Tim Baccanello from Rostrevor. He won a $100 New Balance voucher, thanks to Belgravia Sports. And Will Mead won the Powerade Player of the Day, and he won a carton of Powerade and some Archie thongs. And congratulations also goes to the West End Player of the Week from Villiers Women's Division 4 Hectorville Football Club. Well done. And that's it for Around the League. We'll be back in a minute.
Welcome, folks. Well, we've got a fantastic interview with the Breakthrough Mental Health Division 2 Athelstone coach, Alex Guy. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you, Tony. Great to be here.
All right, so firstly, Alex, just a little bit about your background, mate. You've had a fair pedigree before you've moved into senior coaching.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting one because I'm still a pretty young guy, all things considered, but my background work-wise, I'm in sports administration at the SACA, and when I came back from sort of Tassie working over there, I had a colleague at the time, Chris Trapp, who left SACA to go to Sturt Footy Club, and I was sort of interested just to diversify my skill set a bit, and ended up doing some coaching with under-18s out there with Trappy, and that was 6 years ago, and spent the next 6 years at Sturt and sort of worked my way up to a line coach with the league program. So looked after the defenders with Nath Grimer in 2020, and he's obviously now out at Glenunga, which is good.
Yes.
And last year had Marty Matnick come back to the club, which was great as well. So yeah, learned a bit off those guys, and Athelstone being my old club, when the role became available, I thought it was a good opportunity to put my name in the ring, and here I am.
Fantastic. Tell us now, there's been a fair bit of recruiting around the league. It's a great standard too, throughout all divisions. Did you recruit anyone? And if so, who?
Yeah, we might not have been as busy in the off-season as a couple of the other clubs, particularly in Div 2, that have done well in the recruitment space. But we brought a couple. So Chris Lodovici and Luke Tomaselli come back to the club. So they were last at the club in 2018, I think, and went up to Kersbrook, played in the flag there last year. The other big one that we brought in this year is Jack Wood, who's come to us from Jeps Cross, a ruckman, and he's in really good form at the moment. So they were probably the main ones. We brought another young lad, Zach McDonald, from the Nan Football Club, and he's sort of slotted in really, really well. But for us, it's just about trying to develop our talent. We've had some young kids in Lucas Stepic and Adam Casburn on the weekend come up and play some good footy as our juniors as well. So
it's fantastic, your depth as well, because the juniors are very important. Alex, of course, coming in as a new coach, you can inherit a group that's got a game plan, or you bring your own new game plan. Tell us about what you may have done over pre-season. You've got fitness, the players probably do some weights, there's some mental work and so on, but then there's the macros of the game plan, the back line, the mids, the forward line, your clearances and so on. What did you do over the pre-season, and how long has it taken to adapt? You are sitting 4-3 on the board. They're travelling okay at the moment. So how did pre-season and in-season look with the new game plan? Yeah,
it's a good question. Like coming in, I think that was the main thing. They conceded some big scores last year, and coming in, probably no real surprise coming from the Sturt Footy Club that defence is a really big focus of mine, and that's not just our back six. Our back six I'd consider some of the best in the comp, but it's about how we're defending the ground. So place a real emphasis on trying to turn the footy over in our front half and keep the ball close to our goal. But yeah, Jade Sheedy, who was a coach a couple before me at Athelstone, has gone on to bigger and better things. I stay in touch with him regularly, and the big one for him was at this level or any local footy, it's just how fit can you get guys, because when you talk about how well you defend the ground, if you're turning the footy over when you're fatigued, it's pretty hard to defend the ground. So we put a real emphasis on that, and I think the guys are in pretty good shape, all things considered. You mentioned we're 4-3. If we can get to halfway in a decent shape with the 9 games at home, we'll be in a really good spot for finals, hopefully.
It's interesting with the fitness in it because there's physical, there's mental fitness as well. But you want players to be doing in the last 5 minutes of a quarter what they're doing in the first 5 minutes of a quarter.
That's right.
Because 2% dehydration, you start to get skill errors, communication drops, and so on. So it's playing siren to siren. So interesting there, getting them. It's an ongoing thing, and you're producing results. The plan itself, second part of the question, do you bring a set plan and expect the players to fit into that? Or do you have a look at, these are the players I've got, so you might have some talls, some shorts, you might not have the talls that you're after. So it might not fit a set game plan. So do you design your game plan around the players that you actually have?
Yeah, great question. What I wanted to bring in from a game plan point of view was a role-based system, and you look across and we had most of the pieces, and then one of the guys I forgot to mention before, Christian Elliott, an older guy's come back to the club. He was one of our premiership players in 2019, and he's a bit of a rangy type forward, can play small or can play tall, and he's probably been one where I look at and go, where does he fit into that system? So I think for the most part I had the way in which I wanted to play, and then it was just tinkering based on who we had available really. But without injuries, I think our best can match anyone at the moment.
And it's handy, like you say, where does that player fit? The swing man is very big as well. So if you can be known as a player that can play more than one position is quite handy as well. Yep. A little bit about yourself. First of all, you mentioned before a couple of names. Who do you go to? Who are your mentors, if you like, along your coaching journey?
Yep. Well, I mentioned a couple of those guys. Jade being an ex-Athelstone coach, I was at Sturt in the 2019 year, but I was still involved with the club a little bit at Athelstone, and he was really good. As soon as I took the role, funnily enough, he actually sat in on the interview panel to appoint me. So he put me under a bit of a heat, Sheeds, on that night, but all went to plan, and he's really generous with his time. I head over to his house every now and then, and we have a bit of a chinwag about how things are going. Nath Grimer's excellent. Obviously, he's now at the local level as well, coaching Glenunga. So we bounce off each other a little bit, and still get back out to Sturt every now and then as well to chat with Marty, David, and Chris.
You're doing your level 3, and you're in sports admin, and I love this bit. You're in a management position, so you've got people under you in the workplace, and then how does that transform into, I guess, how you communicate and discuss and build relationships at the football club? Because some of the learnings from Part A, if you like, go into Part B and vice versa.
It's transferable, right?
Career,
and that's probably been a surprise for me doing the level 3 course at the moment, that it's been a lot less about the X's and O's of footy and more about, athlete-centred coaching and coaching the person, not necessarily the footballer. So there's been a lot around that leadership and motivation. But as you mentioned, working in sports admin and having some direct reports, there's some transferable skills there, I guess.
And it's life skills. You're not just you are the club coach, not just the senior coach or the club coach. But it's not just 2 hours on game day. You'll get guys ringing up on a Wednesday night about this, that, and the other. Everyone wants a bit of feedback. Tell us about your feedback methods. I'm fascinated with this, having coached in the 90s and in the 2000s. The 2022 coach. You're using Dartfish Vision, which is fantastic. You're getting reviews, your team meetings, and also private social media. So what would be the percentage between them? How do you work your vision and give your feedback?
Yeah, well, the vision's been an interesting one. Like Dartfish, that software's been quite helpful. Coming from a league club where you use, whether it be CIV or Huddle, a fair bit, Dartfish has been good in that regard. We would ordinarily, if we had a club room, which we don't just yet, be doing our pre-Tuesday night meetings in a change room, might have some vision up, but we don't currently have some change rooms at Max Amber at the moment, so we use our Facebook group with all of our players on that, and I might just upload a few clips from the weekend, and it's good because you can get players to interact with that. Might ask them a question of what they've seen, and hopefully that's what you're seeing. If not, it's a good learning opportunity anyway. Yeah,
fantastic. And talking about, I went past that oval down there. It's almost, I took a photo from the other side. It's almost become a stadium. That side of the ground now, for anyone that, do yourself a favour, just go down and have a look. It's a totally different look. There's going to be shelter. The club rooms go almost that whole 50 to 50, if not more, down there. How far away? You got 9 games at home, so we're not too far away from the opening night.
No, you're right. Well, we're heading into round 8 this weekend, aren't we? So 2 more games on the road. And then, the first game back, we've got the 9 at home. But no, you're right. Like the Athelstone people of old, or even visiting teams, will remember we had nice enough club rooms and change rooms sort of down there.
Down the hill.
If it was a wet day, you're all crowded up underneath that little shelter there.
The tin shed. Yeah.
You won't have to worry about that now. You've got sort of floor to ceiling glass and sipping ice red on a cold day, watching the Raggies win. Hopefully. So.
And of course the facilities, because we talk about how do you, if you take away the money, which is a lot of in football, of course, but how do you attract players to your club in the coming seasons? Obviously, it's the coaching, but part of that also is the facilities. Is there a gym? Is there good club rooms? Are there nice people around the place? The culture of the place, etc. So you're going to attract players, sponsors, and supporters. So on finishing, who are a couple of your sponsors? We've got a fair few there written down. Who are the sponsors out there for the Athelstone?
Yeah, thanks to Shay for giving me the heads up there. But the Res Hotel, they've been a long-term partner. I remember back playing at the club. And had the Res plaster on the back, so they're a long-standing sponsor. NL Security have come on board this year, so thank you to NL Security. SA Roofing Co, that's one of the boys out there. Josh Pike, thank you, Josh. Adelaide Pool Mart, which is Shafe and...
I'm interested. Adelaide Pool Mart?
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Have they... They've given you a new pool, haven't they?
They haven't yet, mate. I might need to build that in the next year's contract, Shave. But, you've got to head up to Adelaide Pool Mart for all your pooling needs. So.
Fantastic. All right, who else we got there?
We've got Lion Conveyancing and also Mitre 10. So thank you to sponsors. Footy clubs obviously can't do much without your valuable support.
Well, you're a young man on your way, Alex, with your football coaching journey, mate. You're very well spoken. You're representing your club very well. You've got some wins on the board. Mate, we're going to keep an eye on your journey. I don't think this will be the last we'll see of you in the Adelaide Football League, and hopefully we can hang on to you for a little while longer. But you're a young man on a great coaching journey, career path, if you like. Thanks so much for coming down, giving us an insight into Athelstone. I'll probably see you on the opening night down there. There'll be a hoop down there, I reckon. Got a few rallies and that down there. So we wish you all the best, mate, for the rest of the season. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Well, folks, just to let you know, we've been out and around again in the funny old press hat and jacket, and we've got some fantastic interviews up on social media over the next few weeks. And we'd like to thank the following clubs and people: Fitzroy, the coach, Wyatt McKinnon. I think that one's already gone up. Adelaide Uni, the coach, Graham Kellett, we visited. Edwardstown's women's coach, fantastic interview with Annette Elvey. We did Morphettville Park women's coach, Brad Farrell. We did West Croydon, the coach, David Thompson, and also the captain, Luke Francis. And it's fantastic to hear what's going on all around the different divisions. Keep an eye out. We're getting out to more and more clubs and sharing your stories. If you think you've got a scoop, by all means, get in contact with us. The details will come up on the screen. And if we can get out to you and hear all about your club and what's going on and off the field, we would love to get out and share your stories. So keep an eye out. Remember, go to social media. It's all over the Adelaide Footy League page and also between the posts. And we look forward to sharing more stories with you throughout the season. Well, folks, we've got a bit of a scoop this week. Not only have we got the great live stream game of Goodwood versus Tea Tree Gully in Men's Division 1, we're also looking at our Women's Division 1, Morphettville Park versus Happy Valley at 6:25 on Saturday night. This will be an absolute fantastic game. Happy Valley undefeated up the top, and Morphettville, last year's premiers, one game behind. So keep an eye out for both those games for our live stream and fantastic viewing.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
9 News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
But Mahuta goes all the way. Where again, Mahuta?
Good grab by Anjana, then Crone late. It's Anjana the Grey. Anjana.
Hillholders went home best.
Life on the wire, Twitchy Frank.
Classic legend, Wild Planet kicking back, Crone dashing through, will beat the lot of them, Crone!
Laughalay's coming out, and they reach the line, nearly a dead heat.
But this is speedy and professional. Profiteer for Mickey D is going to win easily.
Eden continued to open them up late and won very impressively.
Well, it's been a ripper. We've got to the end of the show, Sean. You're back on board. You almost remembered some things, but you've got a bit of news to go with just as we head off for the week.
Yeah, we always like to drop something out of the vault.
This is
in
a
the
ripper.
show, and I heard a little whisper that there was a game on the weekend. Not going to divulge the clubs that played, but both clubs had a playing coach. And there was a bit of biffo out on the ground between the two playing coaches. I don't know how serious it got, folks, but yeah, well, good luck to those two playing coaches. And that is it for this week's show. Lovely to be back. Thanks, Lambo, for filling the hole, so to speak, whilst I was away.
It's only a little hole.
Yes, and just remember, folks, wherever you are in your life's journey, try and at least make sure your kicks all go between the posts.